So placing it here on the Lime Gulch Trail on the Rocky Mountain front for 2 nights. Don't have a solid plan. Just gonna see what the snow's like. It's a good weather forecast window, 70s. There's gonna be a lot of handheld shots for this trip because tripod, this is one of its legs. There's a tripod back there, is broken. But it did serve its duty well because we got a great Northern Lights show last night. And very happy overall. So let's start heading up Lime Gulch, I guess. So the main trail looks like it goes that way and starts wrapping around and up. I do remember seeing on the satellite image this offshoot cuts up much higher, connects up with it, at least from what I remember. Either way, they're heading the same direction, and it's always fun getting higher quicker. So beyond Lacey there is the pass we're aiming for step 1. It's got some snow on it. Looks very pretty. And much better view of our pass right now is this guy right here. And I think when we get there, we're gonna cut between these two. It's like level in there to the next valley or canyon. I think. We'll see what happens when we get there though. Looks like Lacey and I are almost to the pass. An intermittent snow, and it's starting to open up. So Lacey and I hit this open spot. We're gonna way up the pass now. It's a very beautiful day. So Lacey and I looked at the map. Still don't have quite a solid plan. We're just kind of exploring. I think our next step would be drop down, and there's a trail that cuts between these two guys into another meadow area, and then a pass that's probably 500 feet higher than this one over here near Sawtooth Ridge, and probably get to that pass and then pull the map out again and try to decide what we want to do for the next step. This is really, really pretty. All right, we're packed up and on the move. Next step, around this corner, get up to this pass here, and we're thinking we're gonna fill up at a spring that's on the map here and carry water, and with the good forecast, camp on the Sawtooth Ridge for this night, and then tomorrow will be our big day, which I'll explain later. That's the plan now from our little sit down. Yeah, so Lacey and I just got to this point. I don't think there's a trail here. It says there's a trail on this side. It might be up higher. We're gonna be cutting through there and then hanging left. We pop out. I wonder if the trail's actually higher than this, or if it's just abandoned, or more of a route. So the trail in this gulch is getting better and better. It's hit and miss. I wonder if the cows kind of just take the path they want, and then that's the trail that forms. A lot of flowers coming in here too. So Lacey and I popped out into the other valley. Really pretty, looking pretty wild and meadowy in here. Looks like there's a outfitter path with tandem horses dead ahead. Not actually horses, but just horses walking side by side in pack trains. I think that's the trail towards the pass, which is around the corner. So we're gonna head that way. We're gonna keep our eye open for a spring, and then get to that pass, and then take stock at the ridge we're gonna be looking at. So there's like a faint trail. It's supposed to vanish at some point. And there's a lot of blowdown, so it's just a pick our own adventure up to the pass, I'm gonna assume. And it's gonna be fun trying to dodge all these down trees. And some dents, can't see very far, so given the good old hay bears. So we came out of the forest where the trail disappears, and that pack trail's here, so there's gonna be, if you ever come around that corner, there's a split in the trail. A pretty well-worn trail goes high. Then there's the pack trail. Just stick with the pack trail. You won't have to go through a blowdown section. But rejoining this pack trail and continuing onward to the pass. So there's our second pass of the day right there. So I either can't find it or I didn't pack my water bag because I assumed there'd be a lot more creeks flowing. So I just have the 2 filter water bottles, which is unfortunate. I was hoping to maybe carry water up to that ridge. And there might be snow up on the ridge, but that's quite the risk in this temperature. To got 0.5, 0.6 miles up through there onto that ridge, and if it's dry, we're gonna be kind of screwed without water and have to come back. There probably is snow, but it's just one of those risks. I'm just like, at this point, I don't know. The creek we filled up from is a bit of the ways down the pass that way. Didn't see that spring at all. And I think there's a flat spot there. No good camping really, so I think what we're going to do is actually finish up this little water break, then pack up again and drop down and maybe camp in that meadow there. Might be able to have a fire, might get out of some of this wind. Some of these gusts are actually pretty significant, so I assume it'd be windier at the ridge too, but you always take shelter behind rocks and all that. So I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Really pretty up here regardless of where we end up camping though. This is not disappointing at all, actually. Wow. If you could see, Lacey's right there. I think that's where we're going to camp. The section's flat. There's a creek there. The main thoroughfare trail's over there. We're gonna have dinner and chill for the rest of the evening right there. Very beautiful spot. Here is where we're gonna have dinner. See camp down there. And we're gonna be relaxing here until just about dark. At this view. There are some flats down there. It's like Argo something. Looks snow-free here. On Google Satellite View, it did look like there was a route up that, like a pretty well-worn horse path or something, or goat path. So that's an option if you don't want to drop all the way down to the Gibson, then cut over to Norwegian Gulch. We'll worry about that tomorrow. Time to eat. Lacey and I just had dinner, and we're gonna plan to chill up here waiting for sunset, but the wind came in pretty hard and it is actually really cold. So I think when I finish my little Coke Zero, we're gonna pack up and head back down to camp because it is cold in that wind. And probably good we didn't make it to that ridge. We could hear it ripping up there when it does blow. It's probably twice as cold up there, but still really cool. One last look this way before we head down. This wind's killing my battery too. Back on down we go. Well, good morning. We made it to day number 2. The place has a very welcoming mood in this morning lighting. Alright, we're all packed up. Here's the pass under better lighting. Today we're going to drop down to the Argo Flats and work our way over to Red Lake, hit the Gibson Reservoir Road, and walk over to Norwegian Gulch, which is on the other side of this, and head up. Like I said before, there is an option, it looks like in the satellite view, to switch back up this. Looks like there's a cut through, but that might make our day a little too short. And yeah, that just probably make it a 4-mile day or something. We want to walk around and see a bit more today, so we're going to do the whole valley, then up all Norwegian Gulch. It's going to start off with some snow walking. There's Sawtooth Mountain, just came into range. They're sleeping at the far, what would that be, south end of it. Slowly losing the snow. We went through actually a pretty decent chunk of post holing. Lacey led the way. We got a little side hang up. Water bottle fell out of my pack. I had to drop pack and retrace ground. Thankfully, it was found. And we're back hiking again. And related and unrelated note, it's a good thing I didn't bring that water bag and go up on that ridge, because last night, around 2 or 3 a.m., the wind started absolutely ripping hard. It sounded violent up there. It was shaking our tent in that meadow pretty dang good. So would have been sketchy up there, those winds. Unless we found good rock cover, but looking at the ridge there, what may have been harder to find, I don't know. So I see no discernible trail from the flats up, but there is game trails switching back. Even if there wasn't, that definitely does look doable. This even looks more doable in the tree cover. It's a lot less steep here. So you could definitely make a lollipop loop out of this if you want to. Scratch that. There looks like a way up through the tree part. There's a clear boot path cutting up along the tree line here, up into here. Saved for future reference. Something died here. Sweet meadow to camp in otherwise. So there's this dog that's ahead of us. So the first people on the trip, some horse packers, passed us and they said there's a dog following him up the rear. He barks, but he's fine, but we moved out of the way, he wouldn't pass us, so can't wait here all day for him because he just sits there and barks. So we walk towards him, then he runs away further down the trail away from the horse packers, back towards the lodge. That's kind of funny. We just had our 2 very small stream crossings, and we finally found the turnoff to Red Lake. It doesn't look very maintained, so I wonder if Red Lake isn't very scenic, but it should be less than half a mile to it. And then after that, probably just a mile to the road. So let's go check out Red Lake. This Red Lake trail seems to start overgrowing right now too. Doesn't seem to get much use either. Out of the thicket into this little sauna here. Here seems to be a more official Red Lake trail. First bear track of the trip. At least he spotted us some elk. Oh, there's Red Lake. Not much of a good looking lake. Kind of a muddy pond. I'm sure the animals don't mind though. Alright, we're gonna hike past it and head on down to the road. We made it back to this road. Head down to the Gibson Reservoir Road, over to Norwegian Gulch, and then take about an hour break. Alright, here's where we're going to take a break just before Norwegian Gulch. Just going to chill in the shade here and have some sausages. Drink lots of water. Norwegian Gulch, here we go. Lacey and I have been heading up this very hot and dry Norwegian Gulch, and the sun's really cooking today. Every crossing we've had has been dry. We also, surprisingly, I don't know if it's because the permethrin treatment, granted our first ticks, I think we'd have millions on us by now, but I don't know, wonder if that stuff actually works. This is what most of this gulch has looked like the whole way up. Very impressive. Very claustrophobic almost. Yeah, we've made it up to the pass. Tell you what, a lot of these, I don't know if it's just not very backpack very often, this Rocky Mountain front area, but there really isn't a lot of previous campsite use. It seems like a lot of day tripping on horseback. There's that whole way up. Saw no suitable camping spots. It also lacks any form of water too, but there might be a spot back in there, but we're actually going to drop down to Sawmill Flats since there might be some storms tonight or tomorrow morning. Lacey and I are heading down the pass to Sawmill Flats. It's almost like we're being rewarded. A cloud came out and blocked the sun, and this forest is pretty shady. Nice cool downhill to end the day. Made it down to the Sawmill Junction. I tell you what, that Norwegian Gulch trail heading up that way is a mess. Hasn't been used much in I don't know if like pack goats or game and everything just run amok. There's braids of 20 different trails up in there, so finally just said screw and went off trail straight down, and that's actually what saved us most of the time instead of just trying to figure out what trail works with what. Sometimes you just gotta off trail. Well, we've made it to camp for night number 2 at Sawmill Flats. We came from the pass on the other side of here, kind of it's like a bowl, and then Norwegian Gulch all the way down there back from the Gibson reservoir. So we just had dinner. I think that's a nice little flat spot right there for the tent. I think because my camera battery's dead, so no time lapses, that's the end of day number 2. Hello. It's day number 3. Instead of heading back up towards the pass Lacey and I were at on day 1, from the pass top of Norwegian Gulch, we got to look at what we haven't seen from that, and it's just looked like somewhat of a foresty walk up to the Lime Gulch pass area, or whatever it's called, and didn't look anything too special. So we're camped here in Sawmill Flats, so we might actually, there's another trail that heads back to Lime Gulch sort of from here, called Little Willow or something like that. Looks like it's another forested pass, but it's in a different valley in general, so probably going to take that, see what we can encounter there. Slept pretty good last night, other than something was walking around in the creek. Portion of it may have been elk, because I heard elk chirping all this morning. But yeah, Rocky Mountains. The camp's packed up. We're gonna do Little Willow. It starts on that slope heading up this way. Looks like it's a little bit of a road for a bit, then a horse trail, then it goes to hiking trail. At least from the map says. I see spotted part of a bear track right there. Bigger bear tracks here. You can see the toes in the pad. Well, Lacey and I are heading down from the pass now. It's very forested, more so than the last pass, but this one has yielded a lot more bear sign, both black bear and grizzly bear. I don't know if they're just traveling through or what, because there's like no water up here either, unless they know of secret watering holes. These are the biggest tracks we've come across so far. Pretty big. Well, there's our exit there, then we're gonna road walk 2 to 3 miles back to the truck. Lacey and I have made it out to Little Willow. Now we're on the 2 to 3 mile road walk back to the truck. It's been pretty lonely.